to another RouterGods video. My name is Humphrey Cheung, and this is the second part of our subnetting tricks video. I'm going to show you a subnetting quiz application that someone on the internet has written, and it's called Subnet Quiz. The actual file name is subnetquiz.hta. When you double click on that file, it should open in, it's basically like a JavaScript or a Java application. It should open up automatically in any Windows computer. Should also work in a Mac, but I'm not sure about that. And what it does is it presents you with an IP address and a slash subnet mask notation, /22 in this case, and it's asking for you to solve the network address, the broadcast address, and the subnet mask. And as you click next here, you will get different problems, and if you click check answer, it will check whether you are correct or not, and also show you the correct answer. So if I click next here, we've got all types of evil problems here. And so here, we've got a 75.67.211.127/26. I'm supposed to solve the network address, broadcast address, and subnet mask. So let's go through this and see how we could do it. And we're also going to use our super speedy chart that we made in the previous video. So first, let me drag this out of there. And what you always want to do when you're approaching this type of problem is you want to first write the IP address up here. So 75.67.211 and 127/26. Okay, so that's pretty easy. /26. We also want to make our awesome little chart here, our cheater chart, I guess. So 128, 192, 224, 240, 248, 252, 254, and 255. Now, to be in a good position to pass your CCNA test, you should be able to solve this type of subnetting problem within 45 seconds. And ideally, you should be able to solve this in 30 seconds without use of paper. You should be able to do this in your head, okay? But while you're practicing up to that, it's fine to be using paper, but if you really want to have a really good shot at passing your CCNA, 30 seconds or less, and you should be able to do everything in your head. Okay, but don't worry, you can do this after enough practice. So the first thing that I always do when looking at this type of problem, I want the decimal representation of this /26. So they're asking for the network address, they're asking for the broadcast address, and then they're asking for the subnet mask. Okay, I want to find this out first. You always want to find the subnet mask first. Okay, so what is a /26 in dotted decimal format? Well, we know that this part, that's a /8, that's a /16, this would be a /24. Okay, so we are cutting it here. This is where we're going to cut. So since I know the first three parts and that we're going to cut here, I know that our subnet mask is definitely going to have 255, 255, 255. We're only dealing with the last portion, the fourth portion, as our question. We need to find what this is. Now, when we cut at this point, we know that this is equal to 24 bits. Okay, if we cut here, this would be equal to 16. And if we cut here, this would equal to 8. Okay, 26 comes after 24, so that's how we know it's here. If this was a /20, it would be cutting here. If it was a /9, it would be cutting here because 9 is in between 8 and 16. Okay, so 26 is pretty easy. Now what we do is we take 24 and we subtract it from 26, we get 2. Okay, so we get the number 2. All I do here is count 1, 2, and that's a 192, and that's the number I put right there. 192, 255, 255, 255, 255, 192. Very easy. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out my network address, and the network address is pretty easy. Since we cut at the fourth part, we know that the first three parts are going to be unchanged. So 75, 67, 211. Okay, that part is going to be the same. Now I need to figure out, okay, well, they've given me the IP address 127. What network is 127 in? Okay, and to figure that one out, what we have to do is take our subnet mask and subtract it from 256. So 256 minus 192 gives us 4, do all this wonderful arithmetic, 64. Okay, gives us 64. So our networks jump by 64 starting at 0. This is how it would look. Our first network is 0 to 63, because remember 0 is counted as a number. Our second number, or our second network, is from 64 to 127, and so on and so forth. Okay, so what's interesting here is they are giving us 127. So what is our network number for this IP address? Well, the network number is the first IP address in this range. So the first IP address from 64 to 127 is 64, and that is our network number. To get our broadcast number, it's going to be the last number in the range, which happens to be the number that we're looking at here. So our broadcast IP address is 75.67.211.127. Coincidentally, it just happens to also be the IP address that we were given in this problem. Let's bring the subnet quiz over. We're going to enter in that information and see if the program says we're correct. So 75.67.211.64. Our broadcast address is 75.67.211.127, and our subnet mask is 255.255.255 and 192. Let's check our answer, see if it's correct, and we are correct. And notice it tells you how many seconds that it took, 382, and that's fine because I took the time to explain it. Okay, pretty good utility, also a very, very good way to practice your stuff. So the first thing, just to recap, you write your IP address up here, you write the slash notation up here, take your super speedy chart, write it somewhere on your sheet of paper. Then you need to find out what you're trying to figure out. In our case, we were figuring out the network address, the broadcast address, and the subnet mask. Figure out the subnet mask first. Very important. You want to take this slash notation, slash 26, turn it into decimal, bam. And this is done by using the chart. And the way you did that is 26 is greater than 24, so you're playing around with this area here. The first 3 spots before that, all the spots before that are 255s. You take 26 minus 24, gives you 2. You win on this chart, 1, 2, 192, and you just put that in the 4th spot there, the 4th octet, 192. Then after that, you need to find how many spots your network jumps. And this is simply done by taking 256 minus 192, that gave you 64. And then starting at 0, you just add 64. So from 0 to 63, that gives you 64 spots. 64 to 127, that's your second pair of 64 spots. Your third pair starts with a 128 and so on, but you didn't need to go any further because your number that you were given in your problem was 127, so you actually ended up here. Your network number is the first IP address in the range. Your broadcast address is your last IP address in the range. And we verified that our answer that we typed in was correct. So do a couple of these problems every day just to keep yourself quick. You will find that your speed gets quicker and quicker, and hopefully eventually you'll be able to do this type of problem in less than 30 seconds without any paper or any writing at all. Thanks for watching.